I'm Micah Whitley. I work for M.W. Collins, Inc. in Cobbtown, Georgia. We're a biomass service contractor. We do multiple facets of heavy equipment and construction work around industrial forestry and commercial construction, as well as disaster relief, FEMA work, and cleanup. Anything to do with briars, brambles, bushes, and trees. So this particular site is a warehouse site, and we're processing all of the above ground vegetation material. We're logging all the timber and forest product. We're cutting all the timber and the above ground vegetation. We'll come back in and we're grubbing the stumps and the underground vegetation. We'll rake all that debris into piles, and then we'll grind it into mulch, and then we'll haul that mulch off to power generation facilities all around the surrounding area. So our first experience with Hyundai was in the rental side of the business, and we were expanding our operations and needed a little bit more machinery, and wasn't exactly sure which direction we were going to go, and so we started renting some 210s, 220s, 260s, and 300 excavators, and comparing it to the other, brands and our experience with what we had in stock. We felt like they performed very well, and so we got to looking at actually purchasing some of the equipment. And the first piece of Hyundai equipment that M.W. Collins purchased was a 960 wheel loader, and it was for the forest products residual business, where we're loading chips and grinding and bark inside of facilities and mulch on site. And we actually got familiar with that machine at a local forest products facility who had one that had somewhere like 10 or 12,000 hours on it, running it inside a chip mill. And so since then, I think we have purchased 4 of those machines. So we have 4 of those 960 wheel loaders. That was our first experience. And then the rental on the excavators, and we felt like that they did a really, really good job. And fast forward a couple years, we wound up purchasing a used 300, a 15 model 300. And it gets 2,000 hours a year. It's got 4,700 hours on it, and it's digging stumps every day, and it's just a workhorse. And so we had a good experience with that machine, and it's kind of been a trickle-down effect since then. We still have numerous other brands of equipment, but right now we're running 4 wheel loaders and 3 Hyundai excavators, and I dare say if they made a dozer, we would probably try it too. So the 210A is the first excavator that we had on the job, and we first compared it to another model in the industry, and we were looking for a fuel-efficient, small stacking machine that has the ability to stump, and you can see it stumping in the background here now. But typically, it's working in concert with the dozer, stacking trash either for burning or for grinding, and so. The speed, the agility, the lightweight. We work in very, very soft soils here in the Savannah area, very, very wet conditions, and the fuel economy actually worked out better than the opposing brand that was the best in the industry that we had seen since. And so we can run this machine and refuel it about every 2 days. We're probably averaging about 25 gallons a day compared to some of the other 210 classes that are 50 gallons plus in that same class. And so the 210 specifically that's its role in this organization, and then the 300, just the size and the weight class of it, and the strength and ability to do the heavy lifting has been really, really good, and the longevity and the low downtime that we've had. It's just been a really, really tough machine in these applications. This is one of the toughest things you can do with an excavator. Bar none. It's pretty rough on them. So we recently, this year, actually this machine, the 300 behind us is brand new, and so we had actually priced every other major brand in the industry here, and we demoed several of them, and as far as cab and creature comforts and functionality, it was as good or better than any of the other brands that we looked at. MW Collins also operates several other brands, and I run those brands on a regular basis, slip seating from one to the other. And so I get a very, very good look at all of those different different cabs and functions. And so we feel like that they're as good as anybody in the industry. I hear people talk about resale values and things on a regular basis, and I'm at least now of the opinion that if I'm going to get 20% back on a brand in 5 years, or I can keep 20% now, I'll take my 20% now. It's really what you're doing with the machine and your sales and service and support, which NED has been a big part of us looking more seriously at Hyundai because of that, because we do travel, and that's a big issue. I know I have a friend of mine that told me he's in the right-of-way business, clearing business, and he works all over the country, and he has 2 particular brands that he likes to deal with just because of that. And so NED doing what they're doing is going to help Hyundai in a big way. We need parts and service. Price and availability of equipment kind of goes without saying, but once you have that machine on the ground and new stuff breaks, we've got new stuff, we've got old stuff. It all tears up, and in our industry, we got to fix it on a regular basis. And so, for us, it's service and parts and availability. It's a big deal, and of course, the machines have got to do what we need them to do when we need them to do it. But everybody has their pros and cons, and as far as what they make, some do some things a little better than others, but. Again, when it boils down to, do you have the availability of the machine when we need it, and then after the sale, it's can I get my parts and can you keep me going? We really can't afford to sit down like anybody in a business for any length of time and be profitable. And if we've got to have 2 or 3 machines, just collecting dust and making payments on it, then we probably need to do something different. So uptime's a big issue, and again, it doesn't matter who you are or how new it is. Things break, things are going to have to be replaced, new or old, and so parts and service are huge.